Welcome to Caledon State Park. I am Ranger Mike and
This is Ranger Julia.
we are about to go on a virtual wagon ride to see Caledon State Park and look for all sorts of signs of wildlife and nature activity in the park. So come on and join us. We're here at Jones Pond in the park. It's the farthest spot you can hike to get to the water, and it's the farthest from the visitor center. It's about 3.5 miles. We're going to take a little adventure onto the shore of the Potomac River and see what we can find in the sand. You ready, Ranger Julia?
Let's go.
All right. We found some signs of wildlife here on the beach. There are some great blue heron footprints walking along the shore, right down here.
We found some Canada geese footprints. You can tell that they're different from the blue herrings because they have webbing between their toes. And Canada geese are migratory birds, but there are some who do not migrate. And the ones that have migrated back to the tundra are already gone. And this one is staying here because it's non-migratory.
We found something on the sign over here. It looks like a praying mantis egg case from the native Carolina praying mantis. And it's a little different from the Chinese praying mantis, which is bigger and often found on plants. This one hopefully will hatch soon, and there'll be hundreds of baby praying mantises all over that can eat some of the insects.
Hey, Ranger Mike, what's that on the ground?
Hey, it looks like it's a feather. You want to go check it out, Ranger Julia?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a feather. It's a great horned owl feather.
It's very big.
One of the wing feathers from a great horned owl. They're one of our earliest nesting owls, and it is able to nest in January. They are so big they can catch a skunk or a house cat, and they can kill a Canada goose. They just can't carry it off. But they have young on the nest right now, and they are one of our owls that nests in a hollow cavity of a tree or an old hawk, eagle, squirrel, owl, or heron, squirrel or heron nest. And they also make a sound in a series of hoots that is put to the words. The mnemonic is when we put words to bird calls to help remember. It puts the words, "Who's awake? Me too," to the series of hoots that sounds like this. Who's awake? Me too. And that's the great horned owl. We're back here at Jones Pond, at 50 acres of water, and it's a combination of fresh water and salt water. The river in this spot on the Potomac is a brackish, which is a combination of fresh and salty. This is a little more on the fresh side because it has a valve that controls the water that goes into it and does get fed a little bit from rain and maybe a stream nearby. It's used by lots of wildlife and fish, and the fish include catfish,
Bluegill and pumpkin seed.
and other species including the invasive snakehead fish. And there's a lot of other things that use it.
Such as waterfowl, the tundra swans, any type of duck, Canadian geese.
And in the summertime, the great egrets, which are a relative of the great blue heron, which are all white, will use it, and a few other species of herons, including the green herons. And it's a great place to watch the bald eagles hunting because they come here for the fish that are in the pond, and sometimes they even snag one of the carp, which is another invasive species that's made its way into this pond.
This area behind me is the Potomac Beaver Dam. It's an area of water that is here all year round, created by the Beaver Dam. It's home to many different species of reptiles, amphibians, mammals, different types of birds. We have several different types of aquatic turtles in the water, including painted turtles, We have eastern musk turtles and red-eared sliders in here. There's different snakes and different types of amphibians such as toads and frogs.
And all kinds of waterfowl and birds and mammals use the area. We just saw a few wood ducks go by as we were getting ready to film. There could be numbers of wood ducks nesting in the hollow cavities of the trees. The big old dead trees out here are called snags, and we could have bald eagles nearby. In fact, there has been an active bald eagle nest not very far from here. We also could get red-headed woodpeckers nesting and using this area because it's nice open swampy-like habitat. We've likely got great blue herons living here, mallards, Canada geese, and we could have, in the summertime, the great egrets, the big white relative of the great blue heron, and ospreys will visit here. The mammals that we've seen here are, of course, the beavers who built the dam. We have muskrats and river otters. We've seen raccoon prints on the shoreline, and possums are here. So lots of wildlife use this pond. And not to mention all the insects that live here that a lot of the other animals might depend on, including the other groups of animals like the crustaceans, the crayfish that the raccoons and the river otters might eat. Caledon Marsh on the Potomac River in the park. We've got the mouth of the marsh over here where it enters into the Potomac, and I think Ranger Julia might share something with you a little bit about Caledon Marsh.
This is where the Potomac enters the marsh. It's split by a 100-year-old beaver dam that causes half of the marsh to be fresh and the other half to be brackish.
And just below us down this way is the Potomac Overlook, the cliffs on the river. And we also have lots of animals come in and out of the marsh here. There's a heron colony that used to be active up here, an active eagle nest. We have crabs in the summertime, muskrats, otters, and beavers, wood ducks, waterfowl of other kinds, and the ospreys. And it's also one of the best places in the park to find fossils.
This is one of the best places in the park to find shark's teeth and other fossils. So let's see if we can find any. I think we have one here. Here's a fossilized shark's tooth. See how it's all black and the grooves are going down? And then we also have some fossilized shells. You can tell that these are fossilized because the veins are going down the shell, where in a modern one, they go across, like these two.
A water scorpion, look at that. That's an insect, aquatic insect. This is one of the last views you might get of Caledon Marsh as you leave the Potomac River heading back to the parking area in the visitor center. It is a beautiful view all year long, no matter what time and season you visit. All sorts of Virginia's beautiful plants and wildlife live here at Caledon State Park, and you should keep your eyes open no matter when you are here, no matter what time of the year it is.
All right, so we're over at our pond now, and we've already found a few things to show you guys. We have some salamander egg masses and some American toad eggs. See, I know that these are salamander eggs because they're a lot like frog eggs, but they have a thicker membrane, so it's very jelly-like. And then the American toad eggs are very different. They're long strings, and they have a very thin membrane.
Thank you for joining us today on your virtual wagon ride at Caledon State Park. We hope you had a great visit with us.